What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Mets Season Review, Postseason Edition. Well. We are at the World Series, and you can tell by my hat who I am rooting for. And before I get my thoughts and opinions out on everything, I know I said I was going to make another video for the championship series, but I got really bad allergies. My nose is all stuffy, runny nose, boogers, it was terrible. And plus, I didn't want to put a video out on YouTube of me sounding like a freaking zombie. So I decided I'd put it off and wait till the end of the championship series. And man, a lot of craziness went down. Pretty much none of my picks pretty much worked out except the Astros. And let's dive right into this thing. Okay. So for the wild card, we had the Rays and Athletics, and I picked the A's to win because I thought they were the better team. But the Rays won that game 5-1. That was a pretty good game. The Rays, if I remember correctly, started the game with a home run. So that was really good for them, and they won that game. And then moving on to the National League side for the wild card game, we had Brewers and Nats, and the Brewers would have won that game, but they blew it. They had an error, I think, in the 8th or 7th inning. Hold on, that's my timer for my laundry. In the 8th or 7th inning, and they blew it. So then the Nationals won that game. And they moved on to the division series. So now, move to the division series. Okay, so I guess let's continue with the wildcard teams. So for the American League side, we have the Rays and Astros. Man, this was a really tough series. The Astros are up 2-0 in that series, and I really thought they were going to blow it. They went to Game 5 and everything. But Garrett Cole came up big for them, and they won Game 5, and the Astros moved on to the championship round. Now, moving on to the other American League series, we got the Yankees and Twins, and as I predicted, the Yanks freaking swept the freaking Twins, and it was a joke, honestly. The Twins did not stand a chance, as I predicted. Okay, so now moving to the National League, we got the Cardinals and Braves. Now this turned into a really classic series. This was a series going back and forth, and the Braves should have won. They blew Game 1, remember that. They blew Game 1. And if they didn't blow that Game 1, they would have won this series. And then in Game 5, the Cardinals had like a 10-run first inning, and then it was, no chance after that. And the Cardinals advanced. And now moving to the Dodgers, choked again for the third year in a row. They choked. They were up 2-0, and they freaking lost to the Nationals, man. So the Dodgers did not make the 3-year repeat for going to the World Series. Moving on to the championship series, we got the Nationals and Cardinals. And I wanted the Nationals to win here, even though I didn't get to portray that. But that's who I would have picked. And the freaking Nationals, man, they just kicked the Cardinals' butts. They freaking swept them. 4 games. Boom. Done. And so now we got the American League side, which I was paying more attention to, because I really want... Astros are like my American League team if I had to choose one. And there's so many players that I like. It's like, they're really such a good team. And I would have picked the Yankees to actually win this series. If I would have made that other video, I would have picked the Yankees in 7. Even though I originally picked the Astros, but I would have switched was because how the Astros almost blew it to the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Yankees were just scorching hot at the time, and the Houston Astros barely made it into this series. So that's why I would have picked the Astros. That's why I would have picked the Yankees in this series. But the Astros ended up winning in 6 games, which is really awesome because I hate the Yankees so much, and it's really awesome that they won last night. Jose Altuve, walk-off home run, and honestly, the Yankees just played really bad. What was it, Game 6? In Game 4, they played so freaking bad, like 4 errors. Like that's like something the Mets would do. Like I can't believe that they played that bad. Like they looked so bad. They literally looked like a completely different team from when they played the Twins to the Astros. And Well, the Astros took advantage and they won. And before they won last night, when they hit that home run on the top of the ninth, I was like, oh my God, here we go. There's going to be a Game 7. Then Jose Altuve, baby. You got him. Hit that two-run homer. Oh, that was so nice to see. So nice. Puts a smile on my face. Okay, moving on to the World Series. So now we got the Astros and Nationals. And I'm going to pick the Astros winning in 7 games. And I'm going to pick them in 7 games because, let's be frank here, the Nationals have the edge on starting pitching. They got Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, and Anibal Sanchez. And that's 3 studs right there. And the Cardinals, we got Verlander and Cole, but we got Greinke. Greinke's been shaky the whole postseason. He was decent in the Yankee Stadium series, but he's been shaky. And if history shows us correctly, whichever team that normally sweeps the championship series usually plays really bad and loses in the World Series. I don't know why, but it just happens. It happened to the Mets a few years ago, and happened to the Tigers a few years before that. I think there's only been one team that won by sweeping the championship series. I forget who that team was. I forget who it was. I think it actually might have been the Yankees, but I don't remember. So I'm going to say the Astros in 7. I just think that them just having that home field advantage is just going to put them over the top. But the Nationals have the edge over starting pitching. But the Astros, I think, are going to have the edge over the hitting, even though the Astros did not hit pretty much at all in the series. They only hit when it really mattered the most. But let's not knock the Nationals hitting. They have a really good all-around hitting team as well. That's why they made it this far. And that is why the Astros ended up beating the Yankees in the previous series. And that's how I think the World Series kind of go down. Honestly, it could really go either way. But I just think the Astros having that home field advantage just puts them over the top. And that's why I originally picked the Astros to win the whole thing. So now I want to say some brief words on the Mets managerial search. This is not looking good for us getting Joe Girardi. It's really not. Because now the Phillies fired their manager and they're interviewing Dusty Baker, Showalter, and Girardi. And they're saying Girardi's the lead guy to get the job. And the Mets, the only guy who experienced they're interviewing is Girardi. And I want him so freaking bad. Like, he's such a good manager. He's going to put them over the top. They're in a win-now team. What the hell are they doing? But yeah, but if I had to choose a guy with no experience to get the Mets job, I would choose Beltran. I really think he has a really great baseball mind, but it comes down to the same thing as usual. The Mets are going to be taking the cheap way out, as they always do. I don't know why, just, come on, do something. If we get Girardi, they are going to make the playoffs next year. That's how good of a manager he is. But then if you get Beltran, you're going to have the growing pains. And for a win-now team, they're winning right now. You don't need a manager to hire with no experience and have growing pains. And then all the other names are freaking bums. Who cares about these guys? I see on Twitter, why the hell are you reporting this? Just hire Girardi. If it was me, I wouldn't have to freaking interview Girardi. I would have just given him the job. Here, it's yours. You get whatever you want, whatever much money, how many years, it's all yours. That's honestly what I would have done. And speaking of this whole managerial search, before I wrap up this video, I do have an idea for a Instagram video segment that is going to be strictly on Instagram. And the segment is inspired by, if you follow this comedian called Vic DiBatano. He does these, he is actually from New Jersey. Pretty sure he lives in the Manalapan area. I really want to see him live because he's so freaking funny. But he does these segments with the Yankees and Giants. And if you guys know what he does with those, you know where I'm going to be going with this segment that's going to be inspired by him. So, if you guys know where I'm going, I think I want to do it. I don't know if I can be as, actually funny like he is. But I've really been wanting to do some kind of segment like this for a while now, because I just think it's so funny. So, if you guys really want to see that, definitely comment that down below. I think I'm going to do it no matter what happens. And be sure to follow me on Instagram, so when I do that, you guys can see my segment videos. The link's down in the description box down below. So that wraps up today's Mets season review, postseason edition. And if you like this video, please make sure you smash that like button. It really helps the channel out. It really helps the channel grow, and that's what we want to build, a community to get everyone involved. And if you want to see more videos like these, please consider subscribing. Alrighty guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!